Hi, I'm Jen Starr, and I'm here at Viva Decor in Germany, and I want to show you a quick little project with a really cool product. So we have this new Antique Crackle medium, and what it does is you put it on over an acrylic paint, and then you put a paint over it, and it does this amazing crackle. But wait until you see how fast this works. You can actually see it working in minutes. So what I'm going to do is I prep this surface. This is just on a canvas panel, and I prepped this with Chalky paint, which is an acrylic paint that's got a matte finish, and it's specifically for that chalk-like antique kind of look. So I prepped this. This is called Umber. Whoop. Painted the background, and then what I did is, if you can see where that little shine is on this, let me see if I can show that. See where that shine is? I've put a nice coat on here of the Antique Crackle medium, and I let it dry. So I left part of this blank because, and I'm going to do a second part to the video with a photo transfer on it. So I've left this part empty because I don't want to have a crackle where the photo is going to be. So this is dry. You can also do this while it's wet, but I found it works. The crackle looks better if you let it dry on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second color of Chalky. This is Cappuccino, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to do a nice generous coat of the paint on top of this. Now the thicker you put this on, the thicker the cracks are going to be. Or you can put a thinner coat on and get smaller cracks. So that's not something new as far as that process goes. It's kind of normal with any crackle medium. But what's unique about this is how fast it's going to work. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit of variation. So I have different size cracks. I want some that are going to be larger, some that are going to be smaller. And I'm using a nice large brush so I don't have too many brush strokes in here. And where my photo transfer is going to be, it's just going to be flat color. And that's pretty much it. Very quick. It's already starting to crackle. This is unbelievable. I don't know if you can see this already. We're going to let this sit, but already here, it's cracking. Over here, it's cracking where I started it. So it's only going to take a few minutes. So we're going to prop this up and let you see how it works. You can watch the magic happen. Okay, so it's been like 10 minutes tops, and look at this. So it dried very quickly, and it cracked that fast. So it doesn't take long at all to get this amazing look. Unbelievable. So go ahead and try this. It's very fast and really cool effects you can get with this. So now I'm going to add a photo transfer to this. So I have a black and white photocopy. Doesn't necessarily have to be black and white. Color is fine. The most important thing is that it's a laser jet copy or toner based. Either way, inkjet does not work as well, so you want to stick to laser. I cut out my photo, but it doesn't have to be cut out. You can use a full rectangle, and that's fine too. But I want to be able to see my crackle in the background and just have the photo on there. So what I'm going to do is start with, we have a photo transfer medium. So this comes in glossy and matte, and also in 2 sizes. So it also has this great little size if you want to try it out or just to travel with. Either way is great. So I'm going to start with the matte, I believe. Yes. So I have the matte one here. And what I'm going to do is use a paintbrush. And I'm going to put some on the background where I'm going to place this. And I'm also going to put it on the copy or the printed side of my photocopy. The idea behind the photo transfer is that the ink is going to stay behind in the medium, showing your background. And then we'll remove the paper later. So that's how the process works. So I'm going to put a generous coat of this, not too goopy, but enough that it has something to stick to in the background, where my photo is going to go. And I'm also going to put a generous coat on my photo. And what's important with this is that you don't get it on the back of the paper. You don't want to seal seal the paper on there. So just leave it on the front side. Again, generous coat. You don't want to spread it too thin because if it dries before you do the photo transfer, it doesn't work as well. So I'm going to flip this over and put it face down in my project. I'm going to be careful as I lay this down that I don't want to rub it so hard that I get the medium back onto the back of the paper. So I'm going to lay this down, and then because I want to have it nice and even, I'm going to use a spatula. You could probably even use a brayer. And I'm going to work from the center out. Just to make sure I have that medium all spread out so that it's not too thick under there. But I also don't want to pull it back on itself so that the medium comes back on the paper. All right. I want to work out any bubbles. Okay. Now, any medium that's left over, I'm going to wipe off quickly. Just a little bit around the edges. You don't need that. And then I'm going to dry this. So you can hit it with a heat gun. You want to be careful not to bubble it too much. But you can hit it with a heat gun, or you can let it dry on its own. I find the best results is when I let it sit and dry overnight. But either way is fine. So I'm going to dry this quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've dried my photo transfer here. And what I'm going to do is now wet the paper, and I'm going to rub it off until I remove the whole paper, leaving the ink behind. So I'm going to hit it with a spray bottle. And I usually let it sit for a minute just to kind of soak in and get ready. Now I'm going to start rubbing this just gently. You don't want to push too hard. It just needs friction. It doesn't need too much pressure. The idea is you want to keep this wet. And see how the paper is breaking down and rubbing away? Now you can also use something like a sponge or something to speed up the process a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit dainty just because I didn't let it dry too long. I usually leave the faces for last. I usually start at the bottom just in case it's easier, and save the faces for last so they have more time to dry. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is step one. That's most of the paper. I'm going to spritz it again and work a little more until I feel this being completely smooth. Meaning I don't want to feel any little paper crumbs left on it. And this might take, sometimes I spritz this maybe 3 times just to get every little bit off. But it comes out crystal clear. Every once in a while, I'm just going to rub to get the paper off of it. Now, just I want you to see here. See right here where you can see a little bit of the crackle show through. That's why I kind of, in my last video, I left this area without the crackle medium on it, just so it doesn't totally show through. I don't necessarily want crackle across their faces, although that's another look too. You can do that as well. So just one more step to get the last little bits off. Okay, now when you think you have all the paper off it and you're happy with the effect, we have a second step, which is the clear coat. Now the clear coat will not only make this crystal clear, but it's also going to seal it. So you don't have to worry about anything. And this also comes in matte and glossy. So I'm going to take a little bit on my brush. You don't need a lot. And I'm just going to paint the clear coat on there. It dries matte finish or glossy if you use that one. And that's it. It's going to completely clear it up and seal it. So very simple product, but it makes it very, very great to get a really good photo transfer. So we'll see a little shine there. A little paper I left there, but that's the idea. So you have to try this. This is really cool. And that's it. Have fun with that.